There's no doubt that Pep Guardiola is one of the most successful managers in history. He's won the Premier League, the Bundesliga, La Liga, the Champions League, a bunch of other stuff. His trophy cabinet by now probably needs its own house. That's how successful he is. But is all that success down to Pep Guardiola's tactics and his footballing brain, or is it because he's worked with some of the best players over the last 10, 15 years? That's what I'm going to be putting to the test today by putting Pep Guardiola down in League 2. Hello everyone and welcome to The Manager's Seat with me. My name is Chris. You might know me as Fairly Determined FM. I've got a YouTube channel probably down in the description or a thing up here. I don't know how they're going to do it. Just a massive thank you to the guys at The Manager's Seat as well for inviting me on to do this. It's real cool. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. They've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. But first, let's talk Pep Guardiola. I personally think Pep Guardiola is going to be... Guardiola, it's so hard to say when you say it a lot. I personally think Pep is going to go down as one of the greatest managers in history. His name is going to be up there with Cruyff, Rinus Michels, Arrigo Sacchi, Herbert Chapman, Arsene Wenger, probably. I know that other people don't think this. I know that other people in certain dark corners of the internet think that Pep is a bald fraud, that he's only successful because he's gone into clubs with ridiculous players to work with, you know, Alaba, Iniesta, De Bruyne, Aguero, Haaland now as well. Like the list of talent that he's worked with is almost as long as the list of trophies he's won. It's bonkers. In order to test who's right, whether Pep is a bald fraud or whether he's going to go down as one of the greatest managers in history, because I get to decide that in this video right now, I've put Pep Guardiola as the manager of Salford City in League 2. Now, they operate an entirely different ecosystem to Manchester City. They don't have the money that Pep is used to having, they don't have the players that Pep is used to having, and I've put him at Salford because I thought it'd be funny to see him working under Gary Neville. You know, I'd imagine those boardroom chats are going to be quite interesting. So in the editor, I put Pep as the manager. I gave him a contract 2050 because what I'm trying to do is make sure that he's not poached midway through the season by some Premier League club or something. So I think putting a contract length of sort of 30 years means that the money that the club would have to pay to prize him away from Salford would be a lot. Hopefully that will work and it won't be a complete failure halfway through the season. I hadn't really considered that. Let's have a little look. So there we go. Salford City, Pep Guardiola as the manager. They are predicted, let's have a look at League 2. They are predicted, I believe, to finish first. Yeah, so they're predicted to finish first. Let's have a look at some of the players as well. So their key player is Ibu Toure. This is who the media have got down as their key player. And you can see he's got, you know, a bit of pace about him, but he's very much... He's not João Cancelo, is he? He's not going to be the sort of left back that Pep is used to working with. Ian Henderson up front, he looks decent. He looks like he could be good. Well-travelled striker, 36 years old, can play basically all over the pitch. So you can see the sort of players that Pep's going to be. The most expensive player that they've got is Stephen Kelly on loan from Rangers, between 220 and 650,000 pounds. Corian Darbour as well on loan from Ipswich. Looks a decent young prospect, but these are not the sort of players that Pep is going to be used to working with. So let's journey ahead 1 year into the future and we'll see firstly if Pep is actually still at the club and he hasn't been poached by someone, and if he is still at the club, how well Salford got on in League 2. We're a year into the future. Let's see how Salford got on in League 2 with Pep Guardiola at the helm. Well then, they finished in 5th. They made it to the playoffs and they lost in the semi-final to Walsall, and Walsall went on to lose to Leyton Orient in the final. So first season under Pep Guardiola, not a rip-roaring success. Lost 11 games, drew 15, won 20. Yeah, it's not a bad season, you know, finishing 5th. But for a team that was predicted in the media preview at the start of the season to finish first, to come 5th is pretty bad. Let's have a look at their fixtures. Pretty poor start. They lost their first 3 games of the season, went on a little bit of a winning run, then had another sort of dodgy patch here. It's just average, isn't it? Like December seems to have been one of their best months. And then March, they picked up towards the end of the season, it looked like. But I wonder if let's have a look. I wonder if they were further down, they would have finished a lot lower, but they rallied towards the end of the season and managed to get themselves up into the playoffs. But this batch here is awful. Look at this. Started the season really poorly, got themselves all the way up into the playoff spots. They never went higher than 4th. Did Pep Guardiola win any awards? Pep Guardiola, did he get any manager? He did. He got the Manager of the Month award for April. But that was the only one he got. Did he come 3rd in any of the other ones? Came 2nd in March, 3rd in December. Wow, yeah. So just the one Manager of the Month award for Pep Guardiola. What about his transfers? How did he do in the transfer market? Signed, wow, he signed a lot of players. Although a lot of these, to be fair, I didn't check this, a lot of these could be players who were brought in already. Just a quick interruption from me, the editor man. Thought I'd go back and check for the integrity of the experiment. Pep Guardiola did indeed make some signings. Everyone you can see on the screen below Stephen Kelly are Pep signings. Everyone above Stephen Kelly, including Stephen Kelly, were there at Salford already. You're welcome. Bye. So first season, you know, who were the standout performers? Stephen Kelly, one of the loanees from Rangers. He was worth quite a lot at the start of the game, although that's gone right down. So they've had some good players, but a lot of their players have just been sort of average and sort of underperformed as well. In terms of, let's have a look at the minutes. Yeah, so all of these players played a lot of games, but didn't really perform that well. Given his reputation and his tactical skills, it's interesting that he wasn't able to sort of seemingly motivate the players to play to their best regularly, consistently. That is interesting. I'm going to go ahead one more year and just see if he can do it next season. Notice that the taste of League Two football is its second season success for Pep Guardiola in Salford. Okay, we're one more year into the future. Let's see how Pep got on at Salford in his second year. Well, he didn't make it to the playoff final, so that's a thing. They got promoted. They went up in third place. Slightly better than last season. How did they get on sort of overall pass position-wise? Was it always... Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, no. Oh, no. They were leading for a bit and then second and then dropped off. So they must have... I mean, it's definitely a better performance than it was last season. Last season, they had this sort of crazy up and down a bit here and then sort of languished in this area. But this season, sort of solid. It looks like they've just had some solid performances and a late burst up to the top of the table when they eventually ended up down in third. But they did get promoted up to League One. That's better. That's better from Pep, I think. Transfers wise, he sold a few players, brought in a few players as well. Lots of free transfers. Obviously doesn't have a lot of money to spend. How did they all get on? Again, nobody really, like there's 4 or 5, 5 or 6 players who are clearly quite good and kept that performance up throughout the course of the season. But a lot of the players that he's giving a lot of minutes to are just sort of good. It's interesting. I really expected, because of Pep's reputation within the game and his personality type and all that sort of stuff, I really expected him to be able to spur on the players. So it's interesting that hasn't happened. The purpose of the video was to find out whether or not Pep Guardiola needs really, really good players in order to be a really, really good manager. And I think if we're honest, given that Salford City were predicted to finish first in that first season, they lost in the playoff semi-final, and then in the second season they got promoted up in third, I think it says that for FM22, Pep Guardiola may in fact be a bald fraud. That statement's going to annoy some people. Thank you so much for watching. Get down in the comments. Let us know what you thought. Let us know, is Pep a bald fraud? Is he not a bald fraud? What do you think? Subscribe to the Manager's Seat so you don't miss any of the cool stuff they've got coming up. And thank you once again for watching. I've been Fairly Determined FM, also known as Chris. I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.